So this is the Curry 6. It's Steph's new shoe, and if you look at this colorway and you look at the sign behind me, you'll notice that there are a lot of things in common, and that's because this shoe is actually inspired by the Fox Theater. Curry wanted to make sure that his last shoe for the last year that they are in Oakland showed some love for the city, and so that's where these bright colors that you see here, the orange, the green, and the black, that's where it all comes from, that sign right there behind me. But of course, the shoe isn't just about the looks. There's a lot of technology in here as well, so let's talk about that. First thing we're going to take note of on the shoe is the upper. So this isn't something crazy or something brand new. Basically, it's just a knit upper. As you see here, they have some reinforcement at the toe. They have reinforcement here for the eyelets, reinforcement here at the bottom for the eyelets, and then the rest of the shoe is just the knit. For the heel counter, they have a little extra protection with some rubber here at the heel, and then they add a little bit of extra padding here as well to keep it comfortable. But as far as the upper goes, there's not a lot of technology being added to the shoe over the last model that makes it any different from anything that you've seen before. Where things really do start to happen for the Curry 6 is on the outsole. If you notice, it's very segmented. There's 3 sections here at the heel, and then the top has 6 sections as well. A lot of that is inspired by Curry's movements. Under Armour built a new facility up in Portland, and they actually flew Curry up and watched his movements. And Curry makes basically, I think they said he makes a movement every 2 seconds, and so they wanted to make a shoe that kind of conformed more to his movements and the way that he moves on the court. So they segmented the outsole to allow greater movement from the way that he moves. And something else that really pops out about the shoe is just the look of the shoe in general. Curry runs 2.4 miles per game, and that's why this shoe was designed to be more like a running shoe than an actual basketball shoe. And for basketball fans, you know that's a bit of a trend that's been happening in the sport, where basketball shoes have getting smaller and lighter and a lot more slim, really because of the guards that play in the game and the way that they move. Curry is a perfect example of that, and this shoe, from the outsole all the way to the upper, has been designed to really match his speed and help him really be faster during the game. Something that's always important to ballers is cushioning. So for this shoe, they skip Anafoam. Anafoam has been something that's been with the Curry line for a very long time, and it was really a great cushioning technology. But for this one, they're going with Hover. If you're familiar with Hover, you know that it started out with the running shoes that Under Armour was creating. It started off in the Hover Phantom, also in the Hover Sonic, which is something that I actually run in. But then they moved it over to basketball, and we've seen Hover in those shoes as well. That same technology is coming to the Curry 6. So if you look at the outsole, you'll notice that they kept the energy web around the Hover. And that's because Hover is so responsive and it reacts so well that they have to keep it inside of an energy web to help it conform and to stay to its shape. And it's a full length Hover unit. So you get the full, I would say, explosiveness and the responsiveness of Hover all the way from the heel of the shoe to the toe of the shoe, which I think is going to be very, very big, and it feels really, really great. I actually had a chance last night to play in these, and I really love the way that they're going with the Hover technology, and it works really well with the shoe. And even the energy web, it goes literally from the top all the way to the bottom of the shoe. If you look at the outsole of the shoe, if you look through it, you can see that the energy web is there along with the Hover technology. All right, and the last thing that they're doing with the Curry 6 is adding a new speed plate. The speed plate is actually going to go all the way from the heel of the shoe up to the toe, and it's segmented over to one side of the shoe over on the outside. This is basically because how Curry cuts back and forth. When the shoe cuts out to the outside, this allows his foot to respond a lot faster. With the plate, it bends over, but then it has a little bit of resistance so that it pops back in place a lot faster to give Curry those extra microseconds when he's cutting back the other way on the court. So you'll notice that when you play in the shoes. Again, I had a chance to play in these last night, and you can feel how the plate affects you when you're cutting one way, or you're cutting one way, or you're running up and down the court. So it's a different technology and something that we haven't seen done a lot in Under Armour basketball shoes, but I definitely think it's something that we're going to pay attention to. So to wrap that all up, there's a few things. One is the outsole. It's been segmented to help better with your movements. 2, it's the Hover cushioning, which has the energy web around it. It's full length and goes all the way from the toe to the heel of the shoe. Then there is the upper, which is made of knit. Not anything new as far as the knit goes. Definitely feels nice, and it's really nice on the shoes. As far as the details go, in this shoe in particular, it launches on January 4th. They're $130, which is the same price as last year's model, and it's always good to see shoes priced in that range. They're not getting too crazy with the Under Armour models. Even though it is Curry's signature shoe, it's really great to see that they're keeping that price point. Either way, again, this is the Curry 6, launch on January 4th. I am Jacques Slade. As always, make sure you like, favorite, and subscribe. We're live here in Oakland, as you can see, right in the middle of downtown. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you soon. Peace.